What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, guys, on Saturday, I visited the Lorraine Motel, the location where Martin Luther King was assassinated. And, guys, I tell you, this is a very, very emotional visit for me. Me, my wife, and my children visited the location. And I wanted to share with you what I saw at this museum. If you've never been, I just want to take you on a little journey of what I saw and talk a little bit about what happened on that day, which you probably know. And I'm going to play some videos about the different things that are going on inside the museum. As I talk to you about these things, I'm going to also show you some clips from these time periods as well. So when we showed up, you see the Lorraine Motel sign there, and then you see there's a bunch of people out there. You see the motel sign in the front. That's original. All of that is original. The Lorraine Motel thing is original. What they did was they created a walkway for people to come in and to look at the hotel from, the way it was. This is just like the front part of the motel, I don't think they necessarily changed anything about the back of the motel, but you just see the front of the motel. Because I was looking at the rooms, wondering, I wonder if any of those rooms still have anything in it. But I'm sure the rooms were empty. I'm almost positive that the rooms were empty. So when you get there, you see the cars parked out front. Those two cars, they say, were not belonging to Jesse Jackson, Robert Abernathy, Martin Luther King. They had no significance to the time period. There are a 1959 Dodge Royal and a 1968 Cadillac. They were placed there to invoke the time period. But if you look at the picture I'm showing you right now, you see those cars down there, they look just like the cars that were there that day that he got hit. In here, you see a photo of me actually recreating the iconic photo of everyone pointing in the direction, trying to tell the police where the shots came from. There were a bunch of people standing in front of the motel at the time, and there were police out there at the time. They were actually running towards the balcony and running in the area, and Jesse Jackson, Robert Abernathy, and some other people were telling them, no, it came from across the street. And the video I'm going to show you at the end of this, I actually take a photo of that place. It was called Betsy Brewer's rooming house. That's the building that it was where the shots actually came from. So once you go into the museum, you're not allowed to take any video, but you can take pictures. Now, there's one room that you enter, you can't take pictures or video. I don't know, that was just crazy. It was a room of the guy who actually organized and helped put together the March on Washington in 1963. So it's just a room dedicated to him. A whole bunch of different items dedicated to him. But once you come out of there, you get to walk around in the museum, and these next photos that I'm going to show you, next exhibits I'm going to talk about, they're all around in the museum as you get to walk around. I just took an exhibit of a slave master actually pointing out a woman and her baby, to be sold. And then we actually came upon a place where we seen the old school desk where the children, you can see the children in the picture behind the school desk, used to sit. I found those desks to be to look very uncomfortable. I said, man, those desks look like they were very uncomfortable. But I mean, I guess it's the 60s, the 50s. The children didn't know because we sat in some very uncomfortable desks too at the time. So those kids probably didn't know what those, what uncomfortable meant. They just were probably happy to even be in school. And this photo right here captures the time when schools were segregated and they were trying to desegregate the schools. That's actually what this part of the exhibit was. And then we come to the Montgomery bus where Rosa Parks was actually sitting when she wouldn't give up her seat to a white man in 1955.
Rosa Parks is a local civil rights activist who boards a city bus and is arrested when she refuses to obey the rules of segregation.
You gotta remember how humiliating that was. You put money in the front, your little nickel or dime, whatever we had to pay, and you go to the back, to the side door. And you're sitting in your seat that's assigned to you. Even if I'm sitting back there, that the bus driver and the whites in Alabama didn't have the power to tell me to get up because dare not sit while a white man is standing.
When Rosa Parks, that December evening, is asked to get up out of her seat, she says she thinks about Emmett Till. Till was the young man from Chicago who'd come to Mississippi to visit his uncle and was lynched for making a comment to a white woman.
Rosa Parks mentioned that she didn't want to give her seat up to the white man because that was around the time that the Emmett Till trial was going on, and J.W. Myatt and Roy Bryant were basically acquitted for the murder of Emmett Till. So Rosa Parks said she didn't give her chair up because her seat up, because she thought about Emmett Till, so she wanted to make a stand. This is actually the bus. I thought the bus was actually in Montgomery, but I guess they brought the bus here to the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis. And I actually went inside the bus as well and just took a picture of the back seat of the bus. There were a lot of people in the front of the bus, but I did get a picture of Rosa Parks, as you'll see, but I'm still showing you the back of the bus. The reason why I took a picture of the back of the bus is because this is where black people were told to go. It's funny that when you get on the bus in any city in America now today, black people will usually go sit on the back of the bus. It's crazy how our ancestors fought so hard to sit on the front of the bus and black people choose to sit on the back of the bus. Anyway, yeah, so I'll show you a picture of Rosa Parks. She's actually in the front of the bus. I couldn't actually get a picture of her myself because there were so many people standing there. So I stepped outside the bus and took this photo of the front of the bus as well. And you see there is a lot of people inside the bus. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a lot of people that are standing there inside that bus right there. There were people inside there, wanting to see the exhibits, wanting to see everything that I was seeing. I mean, I was just, blown away by this museum. A very beautiful place. I wish I had got to take some video of these things, but I think these pictures and these videos I'm going to use here are going to tell their own story. Then the next exhibit that we saw was the exhibit from the Nashville sit-ins.
That's what our training was about.
The role plan was conditioning us, preparing us, because we were going to face opposition, possibility of us being beaten. We had to be prepared. The first morning that we went downtown to participate in the sit-ins, I was assigned to go to Woolworth, and we would go in and take our seats, orderly, peaceful, reading a book, writing a paper, all day. And then we would come back the next day, waiting to be served.
The white people in Nashville were stunned. I mean, they were more than stunned. Their way of life, they felt, was being disregarded.
There was something deep down within me, moving me, that
I could no longer be satisfied or go along with an evil system, that I had to be maladjusted to it. And in spite of all of this, I had to keep loving the people who denied me service.
We knew that we were sticking our necks out to realize that you could get blind or your teeth could get knocked out.
We had to make the point that sometimes you have to put yourself in harm's way. And in the process, you may stir up some violence, but you would not engage in the violence. We were attacked. People were beaten, lighted cigarettes put out down people's back, poured ketchup and hot sauce on people. The police officials came in and arrested all of us.
The Nashville sit-ins happened in 1961, where John Lewis and some other freedom riders were taught how to actually sit and be stern while they were harassed by racists and different things of that nature. There was a video of the video I'm actually going to show you that was playing in the background while you actually see this exhibit here. So I found that to be very, very interesting, guys. And I actually showed my children. I told my kids about it because we actually live in Nashville. That's actually where I live at now. So I was telling them how this actually took place where we actually live at in downtown Nashville, which looked totally different. It took place in Woodworth on 5th Street. And I actually took a photo of, the picture of the photo of the people sitting, which I'll actually show you another photo of that photo. And then I took a picture of the location where it took place at, and it shows Nashville, Tennessee right there on the picture. The next thing I'll show is just different items that were on display, different from that time period, suitcases and different things of that nature. And then we come upon another picture that tells another disturbing story when the Freedom Riders Greyhound bus was blown up.
Had gathered there. Many of them had just come from church. Good Christian people who brought their children with them to watch the Freedom Riders get killed. They started physically attacking the bus. The windows were being broken. When the bus finally began to leave the bus station, we did not know that the tires had been slashed. When the bus finally stopped and was disabled, it was right in front of a country store. We all knew that if we got off the bus, we'd probably be killed. The flames had gotten to the fuel tank of the bus, and it blew out the back of the bus. They released the hole they had on the door of the bus. That was the way we got off. Everyone else out there in the mob got as far away from the flames as possible. And when they saw that we were trying to do the same,
as I'm showing you these pictures, again, I'm going to have these stories being told as you look at these pictures. But I think the story behind this bus is very disturbing. I took a picture of the side of the bus. Took a really good photo of the side of the bus. I believe this is still the actual bus. The back of the bus was basically destroyed, so they only have the front portion of the bus. I even took a picture of the front of the bus so you can see the total destruction that took place, and I took a picture of the inside of the bus so you can see that as well. But man, it's just crazy. This next exhibit that we came upon is the a reconstruction of the Birmingham jail. They reconstructed with actual cell, an actual real cell which I've never seen a real jail cell, thank God, in my life. And I actually, you see me sitting inside, I recreated the photo of Martin Luther King sitting on the bed. Of course, I couldn't look out of the cell because the bed is not facing out of the cell. So I just did the same pose facing the wall. And recreating that scene, guys, was very emotional. You know, it's like so many emotions came into me while I sat in there, you know, and just zoned out and just thought about what he could have been feeling or thinking, you know, as he sat there. So, you know, I'm going to share a little bit of the letter from the Birmingham jail with you.
Fellow clergymen, while confined here in the Birmingham City Jail, I came across your recent statement calling my present activities unwise and untimely. Seldom do I pause to answer criticism of my work and ideas. If I sought to answer all the criticisms that cross my desk, my secretaries would have little time for anything other than such correspondence in the course of the day, and I would have no time for constructive work. But since I feel that you are men of genuine goodwill and that your criticisms are sincerely set forth, I want to try to answer your statement in what I hope will be patient and reasonable terms. I think I should indicate why I am here in Birmingham, since you have been influenced by the view which argues against outsiders coming in. I have the honor of serving as president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, an organization operating in every southern state with headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. We have some 85 affiliated organizations across the South, and one of them is the Alabama Christian Movement for Human Rights.
Just so you can see why he was there and what was the purpose of him being inside of that jail cell. So then we come upon an exhibit that has some statues of some marchers from the March on Washington. I took some good photos of those marchers.
Descend on the nation's capital in a show of solidarity. It was called the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, but it would be remembered as a turning point in the fight for civil rights. Among the speakers, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who electrified the crowd with his stirring "I Have a Dream" speech.
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
We march for integrated schools now, and we're marching for jobs and many different things that were taking place. We march for jobs, for all the decent pay now. So I just think this exhibit, you know, was really dope. I mean, really, really dope. It really captured the moment of, 1963 Washington, D.C. As I'll show you video of that march as well. And what's, So, yeah, and we continue to go. You see more photos. Actually, the photo I'm showing you, it says "Racists killed our brother." It's actually a casket of a gentleman who was killed during the Selma March on Bloody Sunday.
Idea that black people wanted to participate in the political process.
Now we had the right to march from Selma to Montgomery and to be protected. The governor, the sheriff department, and others would not interfere.
The march starts in Selma, crosses the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and makes it the 54 miles up through Lowndes County.
Down Highway 8. All the way to Montgomery. And all the time we would stop to rest. Some brought food. It meant that some people were so determined to assist us.
I was 11 years old in the 6th grade, and my 6th grade class, we cleaned up at the campsite.
So these next photos that I'm going to show you, and a little bit of video and words from people who were there that day and people who are explaining it from history, they're actually from the Selma Bridge. They have a replica of what the bridge looked like, with some white guards, white police officers standing guard with batons, gas masks, and they got the tear gas things on their hips as well. Very crazy. I don't know if the stone that I took a picture of I don't think that's actually from the bridge. I think that's just a stone that's supposed to represent what the bridge actually looked like. I don't think that's actually from the stone itself. It just took a picture of a Black Panther jacket. I don't actually know if that was Huey Newton's jacket and glasses and hat. I don't know if that was his actual stuff, but this is a display that shows a Free Huey sign and a Black Panther jacket. And it just shows, I got another picture of an African outfit here, and a soldier from the Navy. I don't know what his name was. I didn't really get to check out the display, but I got that as well. And this photo, again, you'll also see video of this, is from the 1968 garbage men that was striking. This is actually why Martin Luther King was in Memphis in the first place.
February 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee, some 1,300 sanitation workers, members of Local 1733 of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, began a strike. This wasn't an ordinary strike. We forged together a coalition of the religious community, the civil rights community, and the labor movement. It was a struggle for freedom, for dignity, for decency, for equality.
Back in those days, we had to do this to live. The treatment that we were getting. Sometimes I just feel like tears are coming my eyes.
And we just got tired. We had meeting and discussed it and says, we're going to do something about it. Said there ain't but one thing to do, is just to make our move. And you know, a man has got to have a strong mind to go out in the street, leave his job, and go out in the street.
We felt like we would have to let the city know that because we were sanitation workers, we were human beings. The signs that we were carrying said that I am a man, then we was going to demand to have the same dignity and the same courtesy any other citizen of Memphis has.
He was there to, help the men who were on strike for having bad paying jobs, bad working conditions, and they were, being treated less than men. And that's what they were marching for. And Martin Luther King was actually there to help, with the organization and help organize this march, and probably to march peacefully with these men. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to, make that speech. As I show you the garbage truck from that time, and I show you the statues of the men holding "I am a man" sign with statues of police officers by next to them, and then you see the pictures in the back of all of the signs reading I am a man. Now we come to a part of the exhibit, which another part was very emotional, and that was the rooms that Jesse Jackson, Robert Abernathy, and Martin Luther King was staying in that day when they stayed at the hotel. This first room, which was on the left, actually preserved the way it was that day as well. As you look inside the room, nothing was changed. But this is not the room Martin Luther King was in. I thought it was, but it wasn't. It was not the room that he was in. This was just a room that was on the opposite side of that room. They actually took one of the hotel rooms next to 306 and made that room a place where people can stand and look into the exact room that Martin Luther King stayed in that day. Yeah, so I just took a picture of the phone in that other room just to show, there's a rotary phone there. I took a picture of the bathroom area, the air conditioner, all which were still preserved from that time. So because I thought that was the room, and then of course I took a picture of the
hotel.
I was talking to him, telling him he needed a coat. And he sort of raised his head to kind of test the weather. And pow.
A single shot to his chin, and King was dead. He was 39 years old. Now, a half-century later, Young and Jackson returned to the very spot where their friend and leader was assassinated.
His shoes got caught under here, and it knocked him out of his shoes.
A photographer who was staying 3 rooms down snapped this iconic image as King lay dying.
And we were pointing over there because the police were here. They were running over this way, and we were trying to tell them to go back that way. That's where the shot came from.
Do you think he heard the shot?
I don't think he heard the shot or felt it. I think it was a beautiful death. My first reaction was to be mad, and the second reaction was to say, well, if anybody is entitled to a reward, you have sure earned it. And, take your flight to heaven.
Young went on.
The iconic photo, again, that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, which shows Jesse Jackson, Robert Abernathy, and some other people pointing in the direction in which the shot came from. And now, I show a picture of the balcony, exactly where Martin Luther King was laying on the ground when he was shot. And there's a reef that's right there where he was laying at, where his feet had got caught up in the railing. Because when he got shot, his feet, he got hit, his body was blown back, and his feet were caught inside of the railing, and it the shot knocked him out of his shoes. If you take a really good look at the picture, you can actually see, that his shoes, or his feet are slightly out of those shoes. Yeah, so I just took some different photos of the balcony area. And then we come to where the room that he stayed in is actually right here in front of you. You can actually see me in the photo. So you see everything that was still inside the room. You got a Bible on the desk, a telephone, and then you have the unmade bed where he had been resting, coffee cups belonging to him and Robert Abernathy, along with some plates and napkins from Miss Bailey's personal kitchen that were left on the dresser as well. And you can see there, you got some salt, pepper. I don't even know if that's food. That may even be some food. You would think that the food from 1968 till now would actually be really bad. And it actually looks like some liquid is inside of the coffee cup as well. So I just think that that's really dope that they still caught that the television is there. Again, really, really dope. So in this last video, again, I'm just taking video of the area in which the shots came from, another video of the balcony and the 2 cars that I told you, and again, just the motel itself. Very, very surreal being there, guys. Very, very emotional being there, taking a walk through that museum and seeing this for the first time. I learned so much about the Martin Luther King assassination in school. I learned so much about Martin Luther King in school in New Jersey. I've seen this time and time again, heard the story time and time again, over and over again. So you can just imagine what it felt like being there for the first time. You know, it's right in downtown Memphis, Tennessee. You can get there right after you come off the interstate. It's not that far. It's about 10 minutes right off the interstate. Again, right in the heart of downtown. Like 2-3 minutes from Beale Street. If you ever been on Beale Street, it's not that far away from there. But yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments, guys. Leave your thoughts in the comments. You know, share your memories of Martin Luther King, or share your memories if you've been to the museum. What was the best part of the museum that you liked? And what was anything you took away from this museum? Were you inspired by anything to, make a change or anything? So, I don't know. But that's it, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I will catch you in the next one. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that you're aware when I make new videos. Peace out.